Hey, good morning, guys. It's Monday, August 19th, 2019, and this is Layout Update number 14. I've got quite a bit to show you. I've got a shout out, I got a question, I've got a question for you guys too. So I'm just gonna get started and we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, guys, a lot has happened since the last update. It's been a little over a week. So what you can see is the track is pretty much down like I had planned. One thing I had to do that I hadn't planned on was over here where the switch came into the yards. I had to add another crossover. So basically it's another double crossover. I got to thinking about it after I did it, and there was no way to get a train out of the yard if there was something on the pass. So it would have to go out on the main, and that just kind of would have bottleneck stuff. So that was something I had to add. I wasn't counting on it, and again, it's on this bridge or whatever. So that's going to be an interesting scenery problem. And if somebody's got a suggestion, I'm open to that. But it's come along pretty good. I've got, well, like I said on the last update, I was going for a yard. It ended up 10 tracks and the two staging. I call it a coach yard. It's, honestly, I don't know if that's really gonna be realistic, but it's a 10 track yard with two staging tracks that they're all wired and blocked, and I can turn them on and off. This thing back here, it's a piece of fiberboard that I've got. I was just kind of curious how maybe a backdrop would work with the staging, but I'll see how that works, because I've obviously got some stuff on the walls. So that's gonna go where it is. One other thing that I did, and I had told Brian Jones about this, and I don't think this is gonna be a permanent fascia, but I told him, everything I do that's temporary ends up permanent, like this control panel and things. So we'll see. But I kept hitting my leg on the corner of this thing, so it's going to tie in with with the scenery, hopefully. But that's that's kind of what I've got done in the last 11 days or whatever. I've got got the yard and the engine facility. That's going to work really well. The tracks are all isolated. Everything runs good. The shout out I want to give to is my trucker buddy Zachary. He gave me a nice little Norfolk. I guess it's Norfolk Southern. So I've got a pool power that I can use, so that'll work. So this is kind of the deal. It's and this yard is gone. I took out every switch. I've got a curved one here for for whatever I put in there. So that's going to work good. But I've got a Brian, he was suggesting, he wanted to know what was behind the door, for expanding, and I had told him that this is as good as it's going to get. I'm not planning on going any bigger, but I'm gonna show you what's over there. But the question I've got, and I'm not quite sure. Again, like I said, this panel was supposed to be temporary. It's big. I'm probably going to redo it. I'm all DC. So this is old school DC. There's nothing fancy about this. This is the way I did it growing up as a kid. My dad taught me, you know, all this block wiring, and so it works pretty good. But I like the way the fascia comes around and curves. I'd like to curve it all the way around, you know, through here. Let me move this chair. Through here, obviously, you know, I can't curve it here, but you know, if I could, I was thinking, you know, I was planning on putting a switch in here and bringing an industry in this area, which I can still do, but if I move both of these boxes, I get, you know, one on one side, one on the other, and move the panel to the center, I could probably curve. You know, I like the curve. It just looks good. Curve it all the way around, and I think that might, you know, end up looking good because, you know, with the curve here, you know, curve it around and up to the corner here. So, you know, and again, this is not permanent. It was just to get these boxes, you know, where I could use them. So that would be a something I would appreciate what you guys would think. But the track is down. It's, you know, it's working as good as it can with Atlas switches. That's what I've got. I've got, I think, 30 of them between the layout. I've got 2 more coming from eBay that are gonna finish. I don't have any more left-handers, so I got a left-hander coming here, and you know, for whatever I do here, and maybe one other one. But you know, I'm into the switches that were giving me a lot of issues, so I've been doing a lot of tweaking with them, and you know, it's working, but you know, it is what it is. So what I want to do now, I kind of want to show you what's you know, what the rest of my shop, train room, whatever, it's kind of a, I don't know, I guess you'd call it a man cave or whatever, but a lot of this stuff I've had ever since I was a little kid. A lot of it are gifts. A lot of it's memorabilia from being an engineer with the Santa Fe that you know, that I've tried to display. A lot of these are documents that you know, train orders and things that, you know, I've collected over the years that are pretty special to me. So that's, you know, that's kind of what this is. And you know, back here I've got, this is stuff I've had ever since I was a little kid, and it's, quite frankly, this is just a mess. I've got to clean this up and figure out what I'm going to do with it. But I've been trying to organize this train room shop and area, but you know, I only got so much room. I got a really nice potbelly stove. I'm not sure. I don't think it's an old railroad one, but that's how I heat my shop in the wintertime. I've got an electric one too, but the wood stove is always fun. But you know, so you always see the, you know, the layout part, but yeah, this is kind of how it all ties into the rest of the building. But yeah, you know, Brian was, you know, wanting to know what was going around the corner, and I said, you know, this is my shop, and you know, I'm gonna be expanding the layout into, you know, into my shop area. So this is you know, this is the rest of it, and I've got it broken down into woodworking and metalworking and storage. I've got a table here that I built and over the years, and just, you know, stuff on the wall and storage, and, you know, pretty much bandsaw, table saw, a radio alarm. I've got, this is some stuff that I've had, you know, from my dad. This is an old Atlas. Actually, it was sold under Sears, but it's an old Sears Atlas 6-inch metal lathe that I've been working on trying to restore and get functional. You know, an old drill press. This is all stuff that I got from my dad. It's you know, he bought this in the early '60s, and probably the drill press too. But anyway, that's, you know, how, you know, kind of how this all fits in with, you know, with the train room. This is a 12 by 24 foot building. On the outside, I've got a carport, and I've got an attic up there too that you can pull the stairs down, crawl up in there. There's a lot of storage up there, a lot of room. But anyway, I think that's probably about enough. I don't think you're going to need to know any more, you know, other than I've been just trying to, you know, get things going. Oh, that's that old desk I was telling you about. That's the layout's been sitting on, and that's how this really, you know, started. You can go back on you know, the earlier updates and see that. But that's pretty much the whole thing in a nutshell. So, you guys, I really appreciate you, you know, subscribing and suggestions, and you know, I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the next update. I kind of like the idea of, you know, some sort of a backdrop and finishing up the fascia, and then tweaking the track work, and maybe starting some scenery. So I think we'll just cut this off, and I will talk to you guys on the next update. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you later.